Hello, please tell me where you're watching from, and maybe we can start a topic of conversation. Or if you have any requests, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat and I'll answer you. Hello, please put any questions in the chat and I'll. Please put in the chat where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, put it in the chat and I'll try and answer as much as I can. I can't see any questions so far. I don't know if I'm looking in the wrong place. I went to church this morning. I don't know if any of you are religious that are watching. Did any of you go to church, or did any of you go to your um, religious places of worship? Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the messages. I can't see if there's any messages in the chat. Um, um, okay, so I'll just start talking and I'll see who is here. I wanted to talk about work and how it feels on a Sunday to know that it's time to go to work tomorrow. I am having some issues at work, and I wanted to know if anybody is going through anything similar, and maybe we can share advice with one another about what we're going through. Um, what I will say is when you're going through any drama at work, stay calm, always stay professional, never say or do anything that you might regret. And another tip I would give is always leave an email trail. So instead of talking to your manager directly, I would say always send an email so you have proof of what was said. But workplace drama is so difficult to go through. You know, it's so difficult to go to work when, you know, it's just stressful and you're not sure what to do, and you know, you might not feel supported. It can be really difficult going to work in those type of scenarios. mm, Let me know if you're going through any issues at work, and we can just like speak to each other about how we can support each other. So we went to church this morning, and service was really good. I had a good time in church this morning. They gave us some gifts. I might go through the gifts that they gave us in church. It was so kind of them to give it to us. So these are the gifts they gave to us in church. This is the bag they gave us. The church is the Dunamis family. The Dunamis family. And in the bag, what they gave us was this little cake, little present. Pop-tastic. That's what they gave us. Also, sweet chili crisp and Sky Flakes crackers they gave us, and some leaflets. So that's what they gave us in church. And also the other bag, the same thing. The Dunamis church. In here, same cake, same crisp, same. This one got crackers, and I think there was a drink as well. They gave us a drink as well. The drink, I've put it in the fridge. But yeah, so that was really nice. That's what they gave to us at church this morning. So that was really good. That was really good. What else? Yeah, and just church. I don't know what else to say. I can't see any comments unless I'm doing this all wrong. I can't see any comments, so I'll just keep talking. But yeah, so that's it really. Church. I've got a few things to do. Again, I want to talk about work, any drama at work. I'm not sure where you're watching from. If you're watching from the UK and you're having issues at work, the best thing to do, number one, is to join a union. With a union, you will need to pay them money every month, but you should see it as a type of insurance. So if you ever do need them, if you ever do need their support, because you've been paying, they'll be able to support you as and when you need. Also as well, any communications you have with your manager, any communications you have with anybody regarding the drama, make sure you put it in the email. So the reason why you always put your issues in the email is that if at a later point you need to show evidence that you try to address it, you have the email to prove. If you just talk to your workplace, or if you just talk to your manager, or if you just talk to whosoever verbally, there'll be no evidence of you trying to address issues. And in fact, they can even say that you didn't say anything. So I'll give you an example. If you're always working late without being paid, you need to make note of it to your manager by email, not verbally, and you just say to your manager, hey, I've been leaving work late and I haven't been paid for it. Are we able to address this? If you send it by email and things happen later down the road, you've got proof that you try to address it. But if you just bring it up verbally, there's no proof when things go wrong. So always send things in the email. Make sure you're a member of the union. Yeah, those are the main tips I'll give you. Also, another tip for drama at work is check your workplace policies. So every workplace should have a copy of your policies somewhere, whether it's online or it's in hard copy written form in a folder. Your workplace should have your company policies. So this can be policies in regards to annual leave, it can be policies in regards to sickness, it could be policies in regards to disciplinary and grievance issues, it could be policies in regards to cancellations. Regardless, each legit workplace should have a hard copy of the company policies, or you should be able to access them online. So, my tips are: number one, don't address things verbally, always do it in email so you have evidence at a later date. Number two, be a member of your union. Even though it will cost you money to pay each month, when you do need your union, they will come through for you. Number three, always put things in writing, always put things in an email, never do things verbally, always email so you have proof. And number four, always check your company policies. So in regards to different things that they may say and do, there should be a company policy to back it up. That could be in hard copy or that could be online, but there should be your company policy written somewhere. And yeah, those are my top tips. Also as well, another tip is to always be professional. Don't act out of character, don't let them trick you out of your position, don't be provoked, you know, just just don't get tricked out. Just always be professional as far as you can. Another thing is that if you have made a mistake, if you had made an error, if if you are at fault, speak to your union, because regardless of whether or not you are at fault, you know, you are still you can still expect to be treated in a professional capacity. So whether or not you're at fault or not, you can always just speak to your union. Please like the live. Please like the live. Please subscribe. And if you can put in the comments any questions you have or any topics you'd like to discuss or any information that you would like me to give you. But for now, I thought maybe today we would talk about drama at work, because it can be so oppressive when you have issues going on at work. It can be so oppressive knowing that you've got to go into work, and you know, it can be really horrible. Also, for people that work in the UK, we also have something called a SAR. That's a subject access request. So a subject access request should be covered in your company policy for they GDPR, data protection. SAR, subject access request, is when you make a formal request to your workplace about all the personal information related to yourself. And so you can make a request to any public organisation, whether it's your workplace or anywhere else, and ask for any information that they carry about you. So in regards to your workplace, you can request any emails, any notes, any meetings, any type of interaction that includes your name. You can make a request for in written form, and legally they have to send you all the information about yourself to you. Okay, I wouldn't recommend you do that all the time, but it's information that's there for you. So if I feel like maybe um my managers have been behaving inappropriately towards me, or their conduct has been below the professional requirements, I can make a SAR, a subject access request, and ask them for all the information where they've mentioned my name, to send to me, and I'll be fully within my rights to receive that information. So that's called a subject access request, SAR. Again, if you look into your company policies about subject to access request or about data protection. It should be there. Don't know what else to say. Not sure there's any questions. I can't see any questions. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. I probably am doing something wrong. But if you have any questions, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll be willing to answer it to you. I've only got general information on workplaces in the UK, but if you have general questions, feel free and I'll answer them to you. For those of you that weren't here earlier, we went to church this morning and we got a little gift pack. That's the Dunamis Church, and we got this. We've got cake, we've got crackers, we got crisp, we got a drink as well, but I've put it in the fridge. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and talk about workplace drama and offer any support people may need for your workplace. I can't see any questions, but yeah, so tomorrow's work, a few of us are dreading it, a few of us are very nervous, but yeah, I just want anybody to know that if you are going through things at work, you know, there's always lights at the end of the tunnel, there's always a way out, there's always support, there's always advice, and there are always options. So if you're being bullied at work, if you're being harassed at work, if you're being discriminated at work, if you feel like you're just very uncomfortable and unhappy at work, there is always a way out and there is always support. I'm only aware of protocol in the UK. So if you're not in the UK, I'm not really familiar with how you can access support. But in the UK, if you need any support and you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments and I will be able to get back to you. I'm here until 4 o'clock. Hello Hamza. I'm here till 4 o'clock. I'm not sure what topics you would like to talk about. Hamza, where are you watching from? Again, I just want to talk about people at work that Hamza needs $20. Oh, you're lucky because I need way more than $20. I need way more than $20. But yeah, yeah, so just talking about work and talking about issues at work. You know, some people when they're at work, they might be going through some pressures, they might be going through some exploitation, they might be going through things that they find difficult and not sure where to find support, especially if they're new to the country. And I just wanted to give advice on support you can get in the UK. My name is Cassie Logan, and I'm just here to give any advice to people that are finding issues at work. So, as I said previously, number one, definitely join the union. Some people don't like to join the union because you have to pay money each month, but it's definitely worth it when you need support, because the union usually has legal support as well as other types of support, so it's sort of like insurance. So no, my name is Cassie Logan. It's from a book. Cassie Logan is a character in a book. But anyway, yeah. So some people may not want to join the union because of the fee each month, but it's like insurance. If something goes wrong, the union's able to step in for you, and the union's able to support you. And some unions, depending on how big or small they are, they may have lawyers on board. Um, Also, another step is to always have an email trail. That's fine, Hamza. Welcome to the live. Also, as well, what I will say is always have an email trail. Don't always address things verbally, because then you don't have any proof. If you do address things by email, if anything happens, you've got all your evidence, that you can produce. Um, you can contact HR if you need support, but HR is ultimately HR is there to protect the company. Okay, so HR might be able to help you, but HR is ultimately there for your employer. So, you know, it's not necessarily, they might not try and help you, they just might try and protect the company from any further action that you'd like to make. So, again, what I will say is, Hamza scrolling lives. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I would say is join a union. It might be a bit pricey, but it's definitely worth it in the long run if things go wrong, because the union will come in and support you. They'll be able to attend meetings with you. They'll be able to send letters on your behalf. They'll be able to just help you access and find support a lot more efficiently that you might not be able to. Also, always leave an email trail. So don't address things verbally, but always do it by email. And also, always leave an email trail. And also, stay professional. Don't be provoked. Don't allow people to, trick you out of your character. Just do not be provoked, because the moment that you you end up being unprofessional, they can actually pull you up on that and create a case out of your reaction. So always stay calm and professional. Um, yeah, and always check your company's policies. So your company, wherever you work, they should have company policies in hard copy or online. So always check their company policies to make sure that they're adhering to what their policies are. That's my advice to you. And also as well, if you are in a situation at work where you feel like you're being bullied, or you're being harassed, or you're being made to feel uncomfortable, or you're being exploited, always know that there is support for you. There is support. There is definitely support. Ultimately, you can take your employer to the employment tribunal, but that's the nuclear option. Hopefully it shouldn't come to that. You know, you can also take out a grievance at work, but all these things are things that you should ultimately do with the support of your union. Okay, so definitely consider registering with a union, and being able to being able to find support that way. A lot of people that may have come to the country recently and have started working, you may find yourself in a position where you feel like you're being exploited. You may be in a position where you're not sure what the rules and regulations are in the country. And in those instances, being part of a union is 100% advisable. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions that's work related, if anyone has any questions about support that they may need at work, feel free to put your questions in the comments and we can address those. Or if you're just scrolling lives like Hamza, please like my live or subscribe if you're interested in any more information. Um, but ultimately, if you have any questions in regards to issues at work, you can definitely put it in the comment for advice. And I will be live until 4 o'clock. If there's any other topics that you would like to discuss, feel free to put that in the comments too. Um, So also, what some people might say is, when looking for work, there's different things to look out for. Um, so the type of people you'll be working with, if people are quite open, if people are friendly, also if it's a professional environment, you do want to work somewhere where everybody stays professional at all times, because sometimes when people don't adhere to company policies and just general um, standards of practice, that's when you have issues. So as well, when you go for job interviews, when you're looking for a new job, really be careful, like really look out for different things that you want to look out for in a workplace. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and if I can, I will answer those questions. Again, I want to show you what I got at church, at the Dunamis Church. Dunamis Church. We had a really good time this morning at the Dunamis Church. We got these. Got some that. Got some crisps. Got crackers, and we also got drinks that I've put in the fridge. We've got drinks that I've put in the fridge. And we've got this. But yeah, if you've got any questions about drama at work, feel free to put it in the comments. The nuclear option for drama at work is to take your employer to an employment tribunal. That is a lot of stress. You don't need a lawyer to take them to the employment tribunal, and ultimately, hopefully, things can be rectified and resolved before it gets to that point, because there are options in the workplace that you can that you can that you can access that should support you, such as HR. Ultimately, HR are there to protect the company. Let me be very honest with you. HR are there to protect the company. They're not really there to look out for you. They just want to make sure that things don't get out of control with the company. But HR, you can email HR if you have any issues at work. You can also make a complaint at work via HR. You can request a meeting to address the concerns you have. I would always recommend to put things in an email so you have proof. Um, Also, as well, make sure you access the company policies. So company policies there should be a hard copy of the company policies, and it should they should also be available online. So your company policies that will address disability, that will address equality, will address sickness, will address disciplinaries and grievances. It should address cancellations. It should address data protection, policies about maternity cover, policies about lateness. Your company should have a policy on all these things. So if you say if you're at work in the UK, say if you're at work and you're under a disciplinary or a complaint's been made about you, if you number one, contact your union, and number two, if you access your company policy on on disciplinary, you should be able to see what your company policy is and how they're supposed to deal with your your discrepancy. But ultimately, contact your union for support and advice. One moment. Okay, so if no one has any questions at all, if no one has anything they want to ask me about drama at work, about any support that you might need at work, then I will be I'll be coming off live in about 20 minutes. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section. Are there any questions at all? Anything you'd like me to address or look up for you? And if anybody is going through any drama at work, just know that there's always support. Don't ever feel like you have to leave the job. I mean, ultimately, you may want to leave your job. You may say to yourself, you know, this job is not worth it. This job is, you know, I'm going through a lot here, and I need to move on. And that might be the decision you make. But if you're at your workplace and you don't want to leave, but there are a lot of issues that you want to address, just know if you're based in the UK, there's always support there. You know, there may be support that you're not aware of, but there is always support. Like I said, join a union, um, contact HR, raise your concerns, and what I will say is do all this by email. Don't do it verbally, otherwise there's no evidence at all. If you feel like you're being bullied, if you're being harassed, there are options available to you. You may say to yourself, "Oh no, these people, you don't know what they're like. They're too strong. Oh, I can't tackle them. Oh, no, 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 I have to leave. There's nothing I can do." Okay, fair enough. You know that's how you feel, but you can't always just leave every single workplace when you feel like there's drama. You can't like leave every single place. Obviously you can do what you want, but sometimes you have to take these people on. And just know, if you are in the UK, there are so many options available. There's so much support available, and that's why I'm here today, to give anybody any advice that they may need in regards to drama at work. Please like my live. Please just tap the thumbs up for me, please. Please, please like the live, please. And if there are any questions at all about drama at work, about support in the workplace, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I will reply. Yeah. So, any questions at all that you may have about drama at work, about support at work, feel free to put in the comments, and I'll be able to give you some information, or I'll be able to signpost you to any organisations that may be able to give you the advice that you need. Yeah. So if you've got any questions at all about support at work for people being harassed, or people being intimidated, or people under pressure at work, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I will help you. Any questions at all? So there are always options, you know, there's always a way out. Don't ever feel like, you know, you're being pushed out of your workplace. You may feel like you're being pushed out of your workplace, but there usually are options available to you. And that's why I'm doing this live, to give hope to people that are going through things at their workplace and need support. sometimes when you're going through things at work, when you're being pressured, if you're being harassed, if you're being bullied, or if you just feel like you're being exploited at work, there are always options to help you. There are always organizations, there are always protocols out there that can help you get out of the situation that you're in. And that's why I'm on live today, to give anybody any support that they feel that they may need at work in regards to feeling intimidated or discriminated against or bullied. So if there's anybody here and you have any questions about support at work, feel free to put your question in the live. Also, as well, I will be going live every week, every Sunday. So if there are any topics that you would like me to, um, if there are any topics that you would like me to address in the lives, then feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll be able to address it in my next live. Um, so I will be ending the live in 10 minutes. But I just want to say, if there is anybody out there and you're going through things at work and you do feel vulnerable, you feel intimidated, or you feel exploited, feel free to reach out. You know, you can reach out to the union, you can reach out to HR, you can just reach out to your manager, your line manager, or your mentor or support. But there is always support out there. Never feel like you're alone. Never feel like there's no way out. There are always options out there for you. Okay, so just never feel like you have to be pushed out. Some people, they do feel like they have to leave their workplace. They don't have a choice. They're being pushed out. But honestly, there are always options for you. There are always things that you can do to perhaps make your situation a lot better. Okay, so that's what this live was for. I'll be leaving soon. Thank you for joining the live. I hope you like my hairstyle. Um, mm, mm, mm. Auntie Maureen done it for me. But yeah, so if there's any questions at all, just put it in the comments and I can address it for you. But if not, I will be back next week. And I'll be able to answer any questions that anybody has in regards to issues at work. Or maybe even you might be the person that's like, you might be the person of drama at work, you know, you might be the person that's being disruptive at work and you want to change over and you leave. Or you might be the person at work that people are making complaints about and maybe you want to turn over and you leave, or maybe you want support. Maybe now you're being put forward for disciplinary, or maybe you're at work and you've been put forward for a performance review, or maybe you've been continuously late, or perhaps you've been continuously sick and you know you want support on that side of things. That's fine. There's a protocol for you as well. Yeah, so there's also a protocol for people that may feel like that, you know, there's also protocol for people that may feel vulnerable at work. Okay, whether or not you're the perpetrator or you feel you're, you know, you're being wronged, there's support for you either way. You know, if you've decided that, you know, you have been the perpetrator, maybe you've been bullying people, maybe you've been harassing people at work, and it might have been due to things that you were going through yourself, and now you want to turn over a new leaf, or you want support in moving forward, or you want to build bridges, there's also a protocol for you too, and we can address that. Okay, so either side, there's definitely help, and I'm only aware of support within the UK, so that's the only support that I'll be able to help you with. But again, before I go, I would recommend that if you are having any issues at work, definitely register with a union. And yes, you will have to pay each month, but it's like insurance, you know. You don't know when you're going to need the union. And when they come through, they will come through for you, and they will stand by you, and they can attend meetings with you. And so, number one, I'll say join a union, because you can always ask them advice for any issues that you might be going through. Number two, I would say always email your conversations. Always email your conversations, whether it's with your line manager or your colleagues. And even if you do have a verbal interactions afterwards, just confirm it by email, because that way you have evidence for future reference. Um, Number three, contact HR, but just know that HR are there to protect your employer. They're not there to protect you. They're there to protect your employer. So reach out to HR, but have in the back of your mind that, you know, your priority isn't me. Your priority is to make sure your the priority of HR is to protect the company against the employees. So you can reach out to them. It will look good that you have tried to resolve issues, but just know that between HR and the union, it's the union that are going to back you. Okay? And another point that I would say is access your company policies. So your company policies should be, there should be hard copies in a folder somewhere, or it should be online. Whichever way, you should be able to access your company policies. And we hold a company to the standard of their policies, or their mission statement, or their values. Okay, so that's what we hold them accountable to. So it's important to know what their policies are and what their values are, so you can hold them accountable to it. In regards to getting a lawyer, that's very pricey, but obviously it's up to you. But a lawyer is very pricey. If you do decide to take your employer to the employment tribunal, at the moment it is free. You can represent yourself. However, it may be useful to seek legal advice before doing so. And obviously that's the nuclear option, because you can always raise a grievance at work. Raising a grievance is an option, and I'll do a video on raising grievances. Um, but raising a grievance can be quite useful, because it can protect you. Raising a grievance can really protect you, but it's not something that you do, just you know, lightheartedly. It needs to be it needs to be it should be as part of a process. So you may have approached your union, you may have approached HR, you may have approached your line manager. All is still not well. You raise your grievance. So unless it's an absolutely drastic situation, I wouldn't recommend going to the grievance first. I personally wouldn't. But you may feel you need to. You may feel you need to get to the grievance first. However, I would say let that be part of the process. So sending the email to your line manager to try and address the concerns, contacting HR by email, and then I would say the next step would be a grievance. But some people will go straight to the grievance, and you know that's up to you. But ultimately, speak to your union. If you're a member of the union, speak to your union for support and for advice. Right, so that's me done. Please please like the live. Please subscribe to the channel. My name is Cassie Logan, and today I just wanted to discuss drama at work, workplace issues, whether that be bullying, harassment, discrimination, disability, discrimination, whether it be stress at work, whether it be exploitation, sexism, unfair dismissal. So this was just to address concerns at work, drama at work, issues at work, and just sharing general information with everybody. If you have any questions at all in regards to pressures that you're facing at work, you can reach out to me directly, or in the comments, and I'll be able to give you some general advice and support. But ultimately, if you are in a situation at work and you do feel that you're being, you just feel that you're at the end of your tether and things are really difficult for you, just know that there's always hope. There is always hope, and there is always support, and you always have options. You may not know what those options are, but you always have options. Okay, so don't feel like you're pushed into a corner, you're being pushed out of the job, you don't have any other choice, this, that, and the other. There is always support out there for you. There are always options. Okay, and especially if you do live in the United Kingdom, there are so many laws in place that can support you. Ultimately, you can take your employer to the employment tribunal, and people will be surprised on what grounds. But as I keep repeatedly saying, let your first port of call be your union. Contact your union to start off with. Um, Raise your concerns to your manager. Let this be in writing. Contact HR. This should be in writing also. However, keep in mind that HR are there to protect your employer from you. So HR's priority is your boss, not you. But it's always good to contact them so you have it in writing, and ultimately you can raise a grievance. I will make a video on raising grievances, and beyond that, beyond the grievance, you can actually take your employer to employment tribunal, and that's a whole nother ball game. But it's not impossible, and there's no fee at the moment, and you can represent yourself in the employment tribunal, although legal representation is recommended. Having a solicitor represent you would be the would be a lot more helpful. But more information on that in another video. But again, if you have any issues, if you have any concerns at work, if you're seeking advice in regards to discrimination, harassment, victimization, work-related stress, or any other type of issues, feel free to reach out to me. I will be going live again next week Sunday. At the same time, I'll be going live. So if you know anyone that has any issues at work or would like some advice, or if you have a friend who has issues at work and they would like advice, feel free to put it in the comments, or feel free to join the live next week Sunday. And yeah, we'll be able to perhaps even share tips with one another. And again, if you are looking for work and you're going for interviews, definitely look out for all these different types of issues potentially in the workplace. Because when you go, when you go for an interview, when you go somewhere to work, everybody's nice at the beginning. That's normal. Everybody is being nice to you at the start. And sometimes it does take a while for people's true colours to show through. But there is a lot of support out there for you. And if you go through your employment contract, not only does it tell you what your what when you go through your employment contract, not only does it tell you what your employer expects from you, it also tells you what you are to expect from your employer. So it does go both ways, okay? It's a contract. So there are requirements on yourself as an employee, and there are requirements on the employer towards yourself. So it does go both ways, okay? And there are always options, which I'll be happy to go through in the next time we go live next week, which will be next week Sunday, I'll be going live again at the same time. And feel free to bring your any questions, any stories, or perhaps you have a friend or somebody that that has questions or is having issues and would like some advice. Thank you for tuning in to the live today. Today we're talking about drama at work. Um, Again, before I end the live, if you are having drama at work, number one, join the union. Okay, this is for people that are based in the UK, because I only have information on how it works in the UK. I wouldn't want to give incorrect advice to people elsewhere. But number one, join a union. Okay, you will need to pay a fee each month, although it is worth it. Okay, it's like paying insurance. You don't know when you're going to need it. When you need these people to turn up at your workplace and have your back and have their legal positioning, it's worth that money that you've been paying. I'm sorry. Join the union. Number one, they'll be able to give you advice. They'll be able to represent you, and they'll be able to attend meetings at work with you. Number two, um, put your concerns in writing. Okay, so doing things verbally is fine, but confirm it afterwards in the email. So always confirm things in writing in the email, so you have evidence, you have documentation of what your issues were, and you also have proof that you did raise your concerns to your employer. Number three, contact HR. Ultimately, HR are there to protect the employer from the employee. So HR are not there for you, they're there for your boss. But contact them, because then again it shows an email trail. Yeah? Contact HR. And the fourth one was stay professional at all times. Don't let them trick you out of your position. Always stay professional, okay? And regardless of what the concerns are, if you're being bullied, if you're being harassed, if you're being discriminated against, always stay within your professional boundaries. If you're being taken to a disciplinary, again, the same thing. Talk to your union, regardless of whether they're taking you to a disciplinary or not. They need to adhere to a protocol. Okay, so if I've been late 10,000 times, they can't just sack me. Okay, if I've been late all the time, there's a protocol that they need to follow. They also need to find out why I've been unable to come in on time. Okay, it may be due to sickness, which would count as, as something that would need to be discussed with occupational health. Do you see what I mean? Or it may be due to other issues that I've already brought up in the email to HR previously. Okay, so why would I now be reprimanded for something that I had brought up to HR, or occupational health? Okay, if someone has epilepsy, um, and it's fully controlled, it's well under control, that still counts as a disability. That still counts as a disability. And so if somebody that has epilepsy feels like they're being put at a disadvantage at work, you can raise that with occupational health. Definitely raise that with occupational health. Definitely raise it with HR in writing. Do you see what I mean? So things aren't always black and white, Things are not always black and white. Black and white. And also, where possible, access your company policies. So this will either be in a hard copy or it will be online. But each legitimate company should have company policies easily accessible, whether it's in a hard copy or it's online, but it should be accessible. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for joining the live. Please like the live. If you have any questions, If you have any other comments at all, put it in the comment section. Thank you for you all watching today, and thank you to Hamza. I will be live again next week at the same time. And if you have any queries in regards to your workplace, in regards to any um, disciplinary or grievances or any complaints or any concerns, exploitations, discrimination, any type of concerns you have in your workplace, I will be going live again on next week on Sunday, and so feel free to join me. And also I will do a video on taking out a grievance on somebody at work. Thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thank you for joining me. Do you like my hair? I really like it. It was done by Auntie Maureen. And one day when I'm with her, getting my hair done, I will go live so you can see. So you can see her do her thing. But she's really good. She's really, 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 really good. But yeah, one day when I'm with her and she's doing my hair, I'll go live so you can see. But I really like this. I did want it in a lighter colour, like maybe dark brown. But I think the black is okay. I think the black is okay. But yeah, please like my live. Especially if you like my new hairstyle. Yeah. So please like the live. Especially if you like my new hairstyle. And remember, if you go to work and you're having issues at work, don't feel like you're at the end of don't feel like there's no hope. There is always hope, and you always have options. Okay, you may not be aware of them, but you always have options. Join me again in a week's time on Sunday at 3 o'clock on the live, and we'll go through any other concerns that people have in regards to their workplace and any issues that they may have there. Enjoy your week. Take care. Thank you for joining me. Please like the live, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.